Welcome everyone to this very special global event from Maharishi International University with our honored guest, Dr. Tony Nader, our global director of the Transcendental Meditation organization, and well known and loved by all as greatest scientist of mind, body, and consciousness today. And that's our topic today, mind, body, consciousness, not even separated by commas. Because today we'll be experiencing many of the limbs of the system of yoga. Everybody knows yoga, but yoga means unifying, unified state of consciousness. So yoga unifies mind, body, and consciousness. And we'll have wonderful commentary by Dr. Nader. And I see in the chat people from basically everywhere, every country, every state in the United States. Such a thrill to be with you all. And Dr. Nader, such a joy to be with you. Such an honor to have you with us on this special session. Thank you so much for joining. So we'll be going through the Maharishi Yoga Asanas together. That will take about 40 minutes or so. And we'll have several demonstrators, several of our faculty from Maharishi International University will be demonstrating. And as the session goes along, please feel free to type your questions in the chat, and we'll be monitoring your questions and answering them as they go. And thank you to all the translators and the organizers of this session. We have many translators from many languages. But I wanted to start by asking Dr. Nader. Dr. Nader, we know that yoga is unifying. Everybody's familiar with the term yoga these days. But how the interrelationship of mind, body, and consciousness, what is the importance of those elements in experiencing what you call in your book, one unbounded ocean of consciousness? Just to kind of give the wholeness of the session today.
Thank you, Dr. Moorhead, and all the faculty and Maharishi International University for hosting this event and for giving deep knowledge of fullness of life to all your students and shining through them and through all of you to the whole world. Mind and body have been differently considered throughout history and the ages. And consciousness is being usually associated with just mind. The reality is that there is no difference on the essential level between consciousness, mind, and body. They are just different expressions of the same thing, and they experience the same reality from different perspectives. And that is the perspective of the physical, the perspective of the thought process, which we call mind. There is also the perspective of the intellect, which analyzes aspects of life and discriminates between them. And there is consciousness, which is the background on which everything is played, but also the essence from which everything emerges. So there used to be a time when we thought humans had a mind on one side and a body that is different, and that these two interacted with each other in some unusually unexpected way. But now, even from a scientific perspective, we know that whatever happens in the mind has its counterpart in the body. So for every thought we have, for every feeling we experience, there is something that changes in our nervous system, in our physiology. And on the other side also, whatever happens in the body can influence the setup of the mind. So if you eat the wrong food or take something that is not right, if you are exposed to different toxins or different aspects of imbalance in your physiology, you somehow influence your mind also. And all of this together is part of the dynamics of consciousness, which is our awareness, our ability to perceive, our ability to experience, our ability to live as a human being that has a sense of self, that has a sense of freedom, of decision making, ability to plan, ability to understand the environment and to work with it, to understand our life, understand the meaning of life, and the ability to grow with purpose and meaning. So consciousness is what gives meaning to everything. And the quality of consciousness that we have is fundamental in how we understand our existence, how we understand our purpose, and how we grow in the right direction to fulfill the true purpose of life, which ultimately is unity, unity with everything. There was a time also when yoga was considered just unity between mind and body. And now we know from the ancient teachings, as Maharishi brought to light, that the ultimate yoga is the unity of mind, body, environment, and the whole cosmos, in a sense of fullness and understanding that everything emerges from consciousness, and that consciousness is bliss, is in its fullness, and it's in this bliss that it moves, and it's to bliss that it goes, and that the dynamics of life are in the direction of growth, and growth in greater and greater waves of happiness and fulfillment. And that is when all of this reality is integrated as oneness, as wholeness, fulfilling the full purpose of yoga. So there is yoga of the mind, from the mind, which influences the body. This is transcendental meditation. By transcending, the mind goes back to its self, to its fullness, to its true value, which is pure consciousness. So that is where it reaches. And as the mind transcends, the body also changes. That is why we see these profound changes in the physical parameters that happen when people transcend and dive deep within themselves. It's not only happening in the mind, it happens also in the body. We see changes in hormones, we see changes in electrical activity of the nervous system, more integration, more balance on the physical level, better immune system, greater ability to fight disease, and to be feeling healthy. We can also approach from the physical level, and therefore through these exercises, different postures actually, rather than exercise, it's really asanas, yoga asanas is a posture which, as we will see, require mind and body to be together. So if it's just something on the level of the body, which means moving the body in one direction or the other, then we are not fulfilling the true purpose of the yoga exercises or the yoga asanas, the yoga postures, but also involve the mind to participate in these postures and take the attention to different places. And that integrates also and reorganizes the physiology in proper attunement with its original design. In Maharishi's global organization with work at Maharishi International University, Maharishi European Research University, and different universities and institutions around the world, research has been done to show the connectedness between the structure of consciousness and the structure of physiology. I have myself spent many, many years with Maharishi looking at the interconnectedness between the dynamics of consciousness, which is seen in the Veda and the Vedic literature, and the structure and function of the human body, and discover that the human body is actually structured like the dynamics of consciousness. So in other words, the way we really think, the way we have constructed our grammar and our speeches and our thinking, the logics and the sequence of logics that happen all on the level of consciousness are actually similar to the structure of the body, the structure of our nervous system. When this nervous system, this physiology is balanced and everything is working in its proper place and in its proper way, then the consciousness, the awareness, as well as the mind and the intellect and the feelings align in a certain way that they can see truly reality in its fullness, in its true, real nature, which is unity experience. The experience that everything is myself, I am everything, my mind and my body are a continuum, different apparent aspects of the same one consciousness, unbounded field of consciousness, manifesting at one level as the body, at another level at the mind, the intellect, but they are all one. And that is the purpose of yoga. So transcending is primary, but also helping that from the side of the body through these exercises, through these postures that actually help to realign the body with its original design, gradually putting it back and removing places where there is strain or tension, which we call generally stress, allows also the mind to experience higher states of consciousness, to experience the sense of unity. So we act from all sides, from all directions, but the primary value and the different limbs of yoga is that which allows us to go directly to the transcendent, and that is through transcendental meditation. Today, however, it is wonderful that the faculty and the organizers are focusing on this aspect of yoga asanas and also the aspect of breathing, which is called pranayama. So please go ahead, Dr. Moorhead, and guide us through these beautiful sessions. And welcome, I welcome from my side, as all our organizers welcome all the participants, looking forward to a wonderful time of experience and understanding.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nader. What a beautiful and complete introduction. Now we know why yoga is important, connecting mind, body, and consciousness, which are all one unified field. So I wanted to introduce our demonstrators today. I'll introduce my wife, Carol Moorhead, who has been on the yoga asana sessions every week. We've done this, Dr. Nader, for now 56 weeks for 25,000 people around the world. So Carol will be joining us. She's a certified yoga teacher as well as teacher of Transcendental Meditation. And we have Shankari Wegman, who is a PhD researcher at the university, well-loved faculty in our master's in Maharishi Ayurveda and integrated medicine. And she's also been with us every week for 56 weeks, demonstrating the Maharishi Yoga Asanas. We also have Dr. Karen Aoki, PhD from Maharishi International University, and she teaches in the Maharishi Vedic Science Department. And she's also a graduate of our Maharishi Yoga Asana teacher training course. Will be demonstrating for us as well. And Mahmoud Ali, who is one of our master's graduate students in the master's in Maharishi Ayurveda and integrated medicine, and also the head of housing for Maharishi International University and the TM teacher, will be also demonstrating for us. And before we begin, we must say that in any exercise program, one must be careful. Some injury might be possible in any exercise program. So I've been asked to say that we all understand that we should check with our physician if there's any issues, back issues, joint issues, sciatica, and be safe. This is a very gentle set of Maharishi Yoga Asanas, but we agree by participating in this class to not hold liable Maharishi International University or any of the faculty that you see or any of its affiliates. But thank you for joining. And the general principle in Maharishi Yoga Asanas is Stiram Sukham Asanam, which is one of the Yoga Sutras. It means that it should be steadily pleasant. So the main feature is we just move comfortably, slowly, to the point of gentle stretch for our physiology. And something wonderful happens when there's some stretch. The body's calling for attention. So we just easily allow our attention to go to the area of stretch. And our attention, which is the flow of our consciousness, lands on that area of stretch. It enlivens the area and restores the inner intelligence and helps to restore balance, as Dr. Nader said a moment ago. So just be very easy, very comfortable. Best to do the asanas not on a full stomach. Best practice before our daily transcendental meditation, ideally twice a day. And if there are joint issues or back issues or sciatica, we should check with our healthcare practitioner to be sure that it's safe for us. All right, so let's begin. So our first posture is called Sukhasana, comfortable seated pose. So we sit comfortably, legs extended in front and back is straight. So that means we come off the tailbone up onto the sits bones, so the back is straight. And we may need to sit on a pillow to help that process, so the hips are a little elevated. So back is straight. And then we're going to fold the legs one at a time. And we raise the knee, so we don't twist the knee, and then drop the knee. And you can pad the knee as needed. And then raise the other knee and put one foot in front of the other, sitting comfortably. And if the knees or legs don't bend easily, then whatever's comfortable for you is Sukhasana. Sitting with back straight. We close the eyes for about a minute and feel the body as a whole. And then we feel the inner intelligence flowing through for a few seconds. And then we think what's called sankalpa, or resolution for today's practice, whatever you'd like to achieve, maybe good health, energy, or efficiency in life. And that resolution begins to engage the laws of nature to support our desires. Now we can lie down and we'll rest in awareness pose, Chaitanasana. Lying in the back, relaxed position, arms at sides, palms up, feet a little apart, shoulders are relaxed and back. And effortlessly allow the awareness to be on the body as a whole. And now, in order to prevent back strain, we'll roll to one side. Ladies, roll to the left, gentlemen to the right. Bottom leg is straight. Top knee is bent. Bring the knee to the floor, arm into the head for a pillow. And slowly sit up using both hands. And Steve, several people are saying they're not seeing the demonstrators, but I am. So sitting comfortably. Next is Samvahan Tona, but before we begin that, I want to just mention that by tradition, ladies start on the left side and gentlemen on the right side. That has to do with the different flow of energy, a little more female on the left side and male on the right side by tradition in the yogic literature. A little more balancing to start on the left side for ladies and right side for men. So now we sit in Sukhasana. So fold the legs carefully, sitting comfortably, and back is straight. And we'll do our tone up, what's called samvahan. Gentle massage, moving the blood toward the heart. So using open palms and fingers, we start on the scalp and massage the head and massage over the face gently and over the neck, and then come to the heart. Then we massage the back and sides of the head, starting at the scalp, massage over the neck and shoulders, and come to the heart. Then we massage the arms. Ladies start on the left arm, gentlemen the right on the outside using the opposite hand. Massage up over the arm and shoulder. And come to the heart. Then the inside of the same arm, left for ladies, right for men. Coming to the heart. Then we massage the opposite arm in the same way. Right for ladies, left for men on the outside. And then the inside of the opposite arm, not that same arm, sorry. Now I massage the stomach with both hands starting below the navel. Gently massage up to the heart. And then we massage the back, starting at the lowest point with both hands. Work up the sides to the heart. Then we massage the legs, starting with the left foot for ladies and right for men, using both hands simultaneously. Let's see. I've been asked to share the screen, but I can't. And massage to the heart, and then the opposite leg in the same way. And massaging to the heart. And this stimulates circulation, the nervous system, and the skin. Now we'll lie down and prepare for Velen, rolling side to side. Lying in the back, relaxed position. And we draw the knees up, clasp the hands around the knees, fingers can be interlaced if comfortable. Feet are together, toes are flexed up, and head can be lifted or on the floor as comfortable. And easily roll to the left for ladies and right for men. And turn the head as far as comfortable, hold a second or two. And then roll to the other side, right for ladies, left for men. We'll do this 3 times. Turn the head and hold. And then back to the left. For ladies, right for men. Turn the head and hold. And then back to the right for ladies, left for men. Turn and hold. And once more. Left for ladies, right for men. Turn and hold. And back to the other side once more. And back to the back. Extend the legs and rest. Velen is good massage for the spine, the spinal nerves, the vertebra, the back and shoulders. Good for rounded shoulders also. Next is Padsanchalan, bicycling-like motion. So we draw the knees up, place the hands on the thighs or knees, and slowly extend the left leg for ladies, right for gents, as far as comfortable. And then extend the opposite leg and bring the other leg back. Smooth, continuous, alternating motion with the arms and legs. And just extend as far as comfortable, no strain. 3 to 5 times each side. And then draw the knees up, extend the legs, and rest. Padsanchalan stimulates the lower joints and massages the abdominal organs, good for digestion. Next is Pavanmukta Asana, drawing the knees toward the chest. So ladies draw the left knee up, gentlemen the right. Clasp the hands around the knee, toes are flexed up a little. Gently press toward the abdomen, just till there's a gentle stretch. Hold for about 10 seconds. Easily allow the attention to go to the stretch. Stretch should relax and be replaced by pleasantness. And extend the legs slowly. Rest a moment. And then draw the opposite knee up, right for ladies, left for men. Press gently to the abdomen. 5 to 10 seconds. Attention on the stretch easily. Slowly extend the leg. And rest. And now we draw both knees up. And clasp the hands or arms around the knees. Press gently to the abdomen. Hold about 10 seconds. Hips remain on the floor. Slowly extend the legs. And rest. Pavanmuktasana gently massages again the abdominal organs. It's very good for digestion and elimination. Yes, and many people can see the demonstration. Sorry for those who cannot. Next is Utti Ekapadasana, raising one leg at a time. So palms down. Ladies slowly raise the left leg, gentlemen the right leg, keeping the legs straight. Come to maximum 70 to 90 degrees. Hold for about 10 seconds, or as long as comfortable. Attention where it's invited in the body. And slowly come down. Rest a moment. Then raise the opposite leg in the same way. Toes are flexed up a little. Come up as far as comfortable. Leg is straight. And down slowly. Once again, ladies raise the left leg, gentlemen the right. Just as far as comfortable, hold as long as comfortable. And down slowly. Rest a moment. And then raise the opposite leg again. Right for ladies, left for gents. Down slowly. And we'll do that once more. Uttita Kapadasana. Ladies raise the left leg, gentlemen the right. Allow the attention to go wherever it's invited in the body. And down slowly. And once again, ladies raise the right leg, gentlemen left, keeping the leg as straight as we can. And down slowly. And rest. Uttita Ekapad is also good for the digestion, as all the asanas are. It strengthens the abdominal muscles, also very good for the hips, and it enhances energy. Next is Sarvang Asana, shoulder stand. We'll show you 3 variations, and then you choose the one you'd like to do that you're comfortable with. First is Dvipadasana, just raising both legs. So palms down, And either bent legs or straight legs, bring the legs to vertical. As vertical is comfortable, hold about 10 seconds. And come down slowly by either bending the legs or come down with straight legs. And rest till breathing is normal. And if you're having difficulties seeing the demonstration, we've been asked to download the latest version of Zoom. I hope that works for everyone. The second version is bent leg Sarvangasana. Tuck the hips under a little bit and draw the heels up toward the seat and then roll up, hands in the lower back for support. Weights on the shoulders and arms, not the neck. Feet are relaxed. Hold 10 seconds up to a minute. And then to come down, we bend the legs and roll down slowly, supporting with the arms as needed. Try not to lift the head. And rest until breathing is normal. And finally, straight leg Sarvangasana. We tuck the hips under a little. And with straight legs, bring the legs up and then bring the feet over the head, roll up to shoulder stand. Weights on the shoulders and arms, not the neck. Hands support the lower back. Hold for 10 seconds up to a minute. And then to come down, bring the feet over the head and roll down slowly. Support with the arms as needed. Try not to lift the head. And straight legs throughout. Now you choose the version that feels comfortable for you. And we can raise the legs, bent legs or straight legs. Raise the legs to vertical or come up to shoulder stand carefully. Support with the hands in the lower back if you're in shoulder stand. Weights on the shoulders and arms, don't strain the neck. Hold about 10 seconds. Then come down slowly. Bring the feet over the head if you're in shoulder stand. Or come down with bent legs or straight legs, as the case may be. And rest till breathing is normal. Sarvangasana is very good for the mind and the skin and the senses because it brings a rich supply of blood to the head. Also good for trimming excess body fat. Next is Katyasana, raising the waist. So palms down. We draw the heels up toward the seat, bend the knees until the ankles are just under the knees. Palms can be on the floor or we can clasp the ankles if comfortable. Feet can be a little apart but not wider than hip width. Slowly raise the waist just as far as comfortable. No strain. Hold 5 to 10 seconds. And come down slowly. And extend the legs and rest. We'll do that twice more. So bend the knees, draw the heels up. The ankles are under the knees. And slowly raise the waist just as far as comfortable. 5 to 10 seconds. Attention on the stretch easily. And down slowly. Extend the legs and rest. And once more. Draw the heels up. Slowly raise the waist. Slowly come down. Extend the legs and rest. Katyasana, very strengthening for the lower back, good for spinal curvature, the hips and the knees. Also good for the reproductive system. Now we roll onto the stomach, ready for Bhujangasana, cobra, lying on the stomach, relaxed position, arms at sides, forehead or chin on the floor, heels and toes together. Then put the hands under the shoulders, fingertips are shoulder height, elbows in, relax the body. And beginning with the head, slowly lift the upper body, using the back muscles without pushing too much with the arms. Hips remain on the floor. Look up a little, but don't strain the neck. Hold 5 to 10 seconds. And come down slowly. Arms at sides and rest. Can rest on one cheek as comfortable. And once again, forehead or chin on the floor, hands under the shoulders, heels and toes together. Slowly lift the upper body, beginning with the head. Hips remain on the floor, just as far as comfortable. Attention easily on the stretch. And down slowly. And rest. Once more, Bhujangasana. Hands under the shoulders, elbows in, relax. Slowly raise the upper body without pushing too much with the arms. 5 to 10 seconds. And down slowly. Arms at sides and rest. Bhujangasana is very good for stimulating the digestive power, digestive fire called Agni. Also very good for the respiratory system. Next asana is Archalabhasana, half grasshopper. Forehead or chin on the floor, arms at sides, palms up. Heels and knees together. Keeping the legs straight, slowly raise the left leg for ladies, right for men. Come up on the chin with the head. Extend the foot back as if you're pushing the wall behind to help keep the legs straight. 5 to 10 seconds. Down slowly. And rest a few seconds. And then we raise the opposite leg in the same way. Come up on the chin with the head, keeping the legs straight as we can. Just as far as comfortable, no strain. And down slowly. Rest a few more seconds. And once again, ladies raise the left, gentlemen the right. Come up on the chin with the head. Should be pleasant throughout, no strain. Come down slowly, rest. And then raise the opposite leg in the same way, right for ladies, left for men. And down slowly. Rest a few more seconds. And once more, ladies raise the left leg, gentlemen the right. And down slow. Rest a few seconds. And then raise the opposite leg once more. and down slowly. And rest a few seconds. Anchalavasana is very good for strengthening the lower back, the hips, and the back of the legs. Also good for the abdominals and good for the respiratory system. Now we can slowly sit up. And next is Vajrasana, seat pose. Be sitting between the heels. And if there's any knee issues, be very careful. We might have a pillow handy. So sitting with back straight, legs extended. And two ways to get into Vajra. One is to bring both feet around to one side carefully. Come up on the knees. And sit between the heels. Spread the heels, one big toe on top of the other. Back is straight. And to come out, we sit off to one side. And the other way, preferred way to get into Vajra, is to draw one foot under, then the other. Ladies would clasp the left ankle with the left hand, draw the foot under, and then lift the body and draw the right foot under with the right hand. Left big toe on top for ladies, right for men. Sitting between the heels, sit on a pillow or two as needed, no strain to the knees. Ankles can also be padded, sitting with back straight. So let's get into Vajra. Either bring both feet around or one foot at a time. Sitting on a pillow as needed. Sitting between the heels, back is straight. Allow the attention to be wherever it's invited on the stretch. Any knee strain, come out. 10 seconds up to a minute. And then carefully unfold the legs or sit off to one side. Keep the feet under the body as we're unfolding the legs so we don't twist the knees. Vajra settles the whole mind and body, central nervous system. Very good for the reproductive system as well as the hips and low back. Next is Shashankasana, pose to the moon or hare pose. First step is to get into Vajra. So we draw the feet under and sitting between the heels, back straight, bending forward at the hips with the straight back, palms on the floor, slide forward slowly till we feel a gentle stretch. Then drop the head toward the floor. Elbows can rest on the floor as comfortable. 5 to 10 seconds. And then come up slowly, come to straight back, and sit up slowly. Carefully extend the legs. We'll do that again, Shashankasana. So carefully draw the feet under. Lift the body, draw the other foot under, sitting between the heels, back is straight. Bend forward at the hips, palms on the floor. Slide forward slowly till we feel a gentle stretch. And drop the head toward the floor. Relax. And then come up slowly to straight back and sit up. And carefully extend the legs or sit off to one side. We'll continue now. Shashankasana is very good for digestion and also for enhancing energy. Next is Janushirasana, head to knee pose. So ladies will bend the right knee up and bring the right foot inside the left thigh, generally right foot inside the left foot inside the right thigh. Heel is not too close to the body so we can bend forward comfortably. Front toes are flexed up, back is straight. And put the hands on the legs and slide forward slowly till we feel a gentle stretch. Stop there. And then we can drop the head toward the knee. Relax. 5 to 10 seconds. Then come up to straight back and sit up slowly. And raise the knee so we don't twist the knee. Extend the leg. Rest with hands behind for a moment. And then the opposite side, the same way. Ladies, bring the left foot inside the right thigh. Gentlemen, right foot inside the left thigh. Straight back. Bend forward slowly. Gentle stretch. Drop the head and relax. Then come up slowly. And raise the knee, extend the leg, and rest with hands behind. Janushir, again, very good for digestion. For the hips, it's slimming for the hips and mid-body. Also very good for the reproductive system. Someone asked for the prostate. This is particularly good for the prostate for men. Next asana is Vakra asana, twist pose. Ladies returning to the left, gentlemen to the right. And so ladies will bend the left knee, bring the left foot inside the right knee. Gentlemen, right foot inside the left knee. Get stable. Front toes are flexed up a little. Then reach around with the opposite arm to the bent knee and clasp the thigh. Extend the other arm in front, shoulder height. Slowly turn to left for ladies, right for men, keeping the back straight. Just as far as comfortable, gentle twist. Hand on the floor for support. Attention easily on the stretch. Raise the back arm shoulder height. Follow the hand around with the eyes. Extend the leg. And opposite side in the same way. Ladies, right foot inside the left knee. Gentlemen, left foot inside the right knee. Reach around with the opposite arm. Extend the other arm in front. Slowly turn to the right for ladies. Left for men. Gentle twist. Then raise the back arm shoulder height. Slowly turn to the front. Extend the legs. And rest a moment. Vakra asana gives a gentle twist to the entire central nervous system, all the spinal nerves, the intervertebral discs, the whole vertebral column. Also very good for the liver and spleen. Now again, slowly stand up. Come up on the knees. Stand up nice and slow so we get enough blood to the head. And this is Hastapadasana, hand to foot pose. If there are any back issues, be very careful. You might have some blocks available or a stool or chair, so we don't strain the back. So standing erect, feet are a little apart and parallel, palms forward. Raise the arms over the head, stretch up, but shoulders are relaxed. Tilt the hips back. Come down with a straight back till you feel a gentle stretch, no strain. And drop the hands toward the feet or on the blocks. 5 to 10 seconds. And then come up slowly and come to straight back as soon as comfortable without straining the low back. Arms at sides. And we'll do that again. Palms forward, stretch up, hips back, bend forward slowly, beginning with straight back, then drop the hands toward the feet. No strain. Come up slowly. Arms at sides. And once more. Palms forward, stretch up, hips back, bend forward slowly. And a gentle stretch and drop the hands toward the feet. And come up slowly. Beautiful. Now we can lie down and rest in awareness pose, Chaitanasana. Thank you, demonstrators. Lying in the back, relaxed position. Arms at sides, palms up. Feet a little apart. Effortlessly allow the awareness to be on the body as a whole. And now we can slowly sit up by turning to one side, ladies to the left, gentlemen to the right. Bend the top knee. Sit up nice and slow. Very good. And if we do the asanas easily and comfortably, then that pleasantness spreads to the whole body. And the predicted result is the dawn of unboundedness. And Dr. Nader's new book, One Unbounded Ocean of Consciousness. So this is in the direction of integrating mind and body and consciousness all together. And that's yoga, unification. Thank you, demonstrators. Now, Dr. Nader, if you would be so kind to guide us in pranayama, breathing exercise. We'll do pranayama for a few minutes and then our meditation.
Beautiful demonstration. We do pranayama after yoga asanas. So that is the most ideal, so that the body has soothed itself, has unified itself. And out of the different limbs of yoga, we have this limb of the breathing exercises. You might have heard of many different programs of breathing. This one that Maharishi has advised and that has been studied as a starting breathing exercise is also called Sukha pranayama, like the position or the posture of Sukha asana, which is comfortable and pleasant and rather easy, which is very important to start with. So to do it, we sit in this position of Sukha asana, which is legs crossed, very simple, with the back straight. We can also, of course, do it sitting on a chair if we are comfortable, if we prefer that. And another posture which can be also very helpful is the Vajrasana. Vajrasana, which is the position where you have your legs folded and you are sitting on your ankles or the side of your ankles, the diamond posture, or some call it the thunderbolt posture. These are very conducive to a good breathing exercise. So when we start to do the pranayama, we are sitting then in one of those positions, any comfortable position. And we just don't jump into it straight after the asana. We take a few seconds of a transition. If we feel the body stands still, if we have not done the asanas, for example, but we want to do the pranayama, we take a half a minute to make sure that all the body is settled, that we are not tense in our shoulders, we are not tense in our face, We're not breathing heavily through the chest, but everything is rested, and the breathing is mostly actually from the abdominal area. So if you want to test that, you put a hand on your chest and a hand on your abdomen. And as you take the breath in, you feel that it's your abdomen actually that is expanding, and the chest is not moving up and down very much. Of course, at the end of breathing, it might stretch. That is fine. We let it stretch at the end. And just to set up the fact that when one is stressed and tense, usually the breathing becomes on the upper muscles of the chest. If you have done yoga asanas, and if you are a meditator, normally that should not be the case. But just in case it's a one day when you are tired or stressed, just get yourself into that position. And then what we do is take our right hand, and this is for all of us, so everyone, including men, ladies, whoever is wanting to practice the Sukh pranayama, uses the right hand, and we're going to use the following fingers. We're going to use the thumb, and the two fingers, the middle and the ring finger. We take the right hand and we put the thumb on the right nostril, and we close the right nostril, and we breathe out through the left nostril comfortably. We let the air out, and then we take the air in through that same left nostril. So out through the left nostril, and then in again through the left nostril. Once we have taken the air in, we close the left nostril with these two fingers, so this one remains in the middle. And now we exhale through the right nostril. We let the air out through the right nostril. And take air again from that same nostril from which we have exhaled. And then do the same again. Close the right nostril with the thumb and exhale through the left nostril. And inhale back through the left nostril. When we have finished inhaling comfortably, we don't rush, we don't feel to pressure ourselves, we don't feel to try to do it very slowly or very fast, just comfortably. As we finish the inhalation on the left nostril, again we close it with the two fingers, the middle and ring finger, and exhale through the right nostril. When the breath is completing out, then again we breathe in through the right nostril, and we repeat this during 4 or 5 minutes. Now it's very important to be comfortable. It is called pleasant, sukh, comfortable pranayama, and therefore we don't force to fill the lungs too longer or to wait too long or force it to be going fast or slow. It's your own comfort, your feeling of how much breath you need from each nostril, and you complete this one side and the other. At the beginning, you might feel there is some noise coming because when we breathe in and out, there is noise. That is also fine. But gradually, as you settle in it, you can breathe in and out through the nostrils without making a noise. So it becomes like noiseless, and that gives the fine feeling of the breathing, the fine feeling of sensory breathing, where we are actually feeling and hearing nothing. So that is a sense of taking it slowly, relatively slowly, without forcing. And so we do it, but comfortably. So it can be a little slower if we try to make it noiseless, but it should always remain comfortable. That is the priority. So we can do this for 4 minutes. It is best done with the eyes closed. Breathing out in one nostril and then in that same nostril, closing that nostril, breathing out in the opposite one, and then in that same one. We can now stop the breathing. Prana is the life force. It is in the air like the oxygen that nourishes, nurtures the whole physiology, but it's also the whole energy of life supporting us. It is taking in all the life force and then breathing out the metabolic byproducts. In this case, of course, there is the carbon dioxide that is a result of the metabolism of the body that is being released. But also, in a sense, it's letting go of stresses and strains as the body takes the life force in and lets go of the metabolic byproducts. So this pranayama is very enriching to mind and body and is a very good preparation for meditation. During the pranayama, and when we say if it is noiseless, which means we don't hear the air moving, actually it's a way to bring our attention to the silence also. The silence, yet the life force is there. So there is silence and there is dynamism. Dynamism is the movement of the air, the movement of the life force, but it is on the level of settled, quiet silence. This gives a very profound feeling to the nervous system, to the mind and the body, of the ability to be dynamic, to be alive, to be doing things from the level of silence. So in all that we do in Maharishi's programs, in asanas, yoga asanas, and in pranayama, and every other activity, silence is always there. And that is the field of pure being, of pure consciousness, the one unbounded ocean of consciousness, being enlivened in our awareness from different perspectives. So when we put our attention on one aspect, for example, of the asanas, of the stretching, if the body calls for it somewhere, we take our attention there. So make sure these postures are felt, you feel them, you get into them, and your body moves and then silence. There is that relaxation, that feeling of attention. You feel the stretch is getting to a point of peace, of comfort, of sukh, which is pleasantness. And that is the integration of silence and dynamism. And transcendental meditation is a powerful technique, and that brings us to that inner silence that allows us to live and experience a dynamic activity in a very, very powerful and effective way.
Beautiful, Dr. Nader. Thank you so much. So you'd like to guide us in our group meditation as well?
Wonderful. So everyone sits comfortably. We have done the asanas and the pranayama. And those who practice transcendental meditation will close the eyes, take a few seconds, and then start your program as you have learned it. Those who have joined and do not practice transcendental meditation, you can also sit comfortably, close the eyes, and be easy. Just take it as it comes. Wherever your attention goes, don't mind. Just take it easy. And if you practice any other thinking or planning, if you have some project, you can think about it. Just be with yourself during these few minutes. And don't mind the time. When 10 minutes will pass, I will give you a sign, and then we'll open the eyes and see if you have any questions. Is that fine, Dr. Moorhead?
Yes, that's wonderful, Dr. Nader. Thank you.
So now let's sit easily, comfortably. Close the eyes. Wait for about half a minute and then start your program. We will now keep our eyes closed, but stop our program and just take 1 or 2 minutes, not minding anything, and then slowly open the eyes. Slowly open the eyes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Nader, for guiding us through that beautiful meditation. Wonderful for us all to be together in that one unbounded ocean of consciousness, the title of your new book. And thanks and congratulations are coming from all over the world. Very wonderful to see. We have a few questions, Dr. Nader, if you would like to answer.
Beautiful.
Yes. One question is, how old is yoga?
Yoga is as old as time in terms of Patanjali Yoga Sutras. They give it many different timing, but the tradition from which it comes is really eternal. It's a time unlimited kind of tradition of knowledge, which is Veda. Veda means knowledge. Total Veda is total knowledge of life, and there are 40 aspects of Veda that Maharishi Mahesh Yogi has organized as a perfect science of life and has shown the relationship between these different parts. And one of these aspects is yoga. There is Ayurveda, which is about health. There is Tapatya Ved, which is about planning of cities and homes. There is Jyotish, which is the connectedness of individual rhythms of life and the cosmic rhythms. And like that, there is Gandharva Veda, which is the music side. So there are all these different aspects of knowledge and experience and technologies. And they really are part of the dynamics of life. They are part of the laws of nature. So in a way, you can say yoga is infinite, eternal, but it has been cognized and recorded and commented upon throughout the ages. And it's certainly thousands of years old comments. And then in more recent times, it has taken more specific research and interest on it to see what parts of the body it influences, what different aspects of health it influences. And yoga is usually understood nowadays as the yoga exercises. But in fact, as we have seen, yoga is unifying value, is the unity of mind, body, and environment in consciousness, as consciousness is the one ocean that creates all these different aspects. And so there is mental yoga, consciousness yoga-based yoga. There is devotional yoga, it's called bhakti yoga. There is action-related yoga, which means you can reach that state of wholeness and unity through action that is in accordance with the laws of nature. That is called karma yoga. And like this, there are many different. There is yoga through knowledge, by learning, by understanding, by reading about the laws of nature, reading about life, understanding the physical and the mental, understanding, even if you study physics and chemistry, you are studying the laws of nature, studying biology or arts, you're studying the rhythms and the functioning of nature. This is kind of Gyan yoga, which is yoga of knowledge. And there is supreme yoga, which is royal yoga, and that is transcending, which is the highest value because it takes you directly to the unity aspect within yourself. And that is based on the highest level of the limbs of yoga, the usually traditionally considered 8 limbs of yoga. And the highest one is samadhi, which means transcending. And so transcendental meditation is that highest value that directly takes you to the transcendent, to the field of unity, of oneness, which is the purpose of yoga. But there are all these other also branches that can help and that people prefer to maybe do this or the other, but there is no contradiction. You can do all of them together. And we recommend that one goes to the transcendent as the fastest, most effective way of reaching unity. And that is by diving within oneself through transcendental meditation.
I was going to say Jai Gurudev, and then that's also part of the questions I'm seeing. A few people have asked what Jai Gurudev means, and I thought maybe we could expand that question out to really talk about the role of tradition. Oftentimes you present a very scientific angle to developing consciousness, but since we did the asanas and we were saying Jai Gurudev, maybe you could address something along the lines of tradition.
So this knowledge has a tradition that comes from, as we said, thousands of years and has been passed on from teacher to student. And it has many aspects of knowledge and technologies and understanding and ways of teaching that ensure that the program is given in a systematic way, in a pure way, so that its effectiveness is maintained. And that is why we respect the tradition and we honor those who have given us this knowledge of perfection of life. And we connect to those teachers in a way that is recognizing that we are not just doing something that is invented recently by somebody and is a trial and error, but it has withstood the test of time, and it is connected to this tradition that today we are studying scientifically, but throughout history, throughout time, it has been effective in creating enlightenment. And Maharishi is the teacher who gave this to us, and his teacher is Brahmananda Saraswati, who was the Shankaracharya, which is the highest authority on the Veda and on yoga in the ancient Vedic tradition of knowledge. And he himself had a teacher, and they have a teacher and a teacher. So there is that tradition, long tradition of teachers. And for the teacher who teaches Transcendental Meditation, we teach in the same way as it has been taught before, with acknowledging one's teacher. It's a way of acknowledging the knowledge, the value of the knowledge and its source, and securing for the student the teaching in its purest possible way. That is what makes it most effective. And in that sense, it is also a technique to be connected to those values of relation between teacher and student, so that the knowledge is given in this very, very beautiful way. And it's a guarantee for the student that it is being taught in that same way. So this is really the tradition. The term Jai Gurudev is glory or, to the teacher who gives this pure knowledge. That's really what it means. And that is a tradition of also connecting to those who give the teachers. And in this case, it represents the teacher of Maharishi, because he gave it in the name of his teacher, who took it from his old tradition. So Guru, you have all heard, is that value which is the teacher who has the highest knowledge. Today we have gurus in business, gurus in stock market, gurus in digital media and the internet that know these things. And, this is a tradition to say, this is the supreme teacher of knowledge that we acknowledge. So it's kind of on the feeling level, something that has become a tradition that Maharishi has started for our teaching, and that we cherish, and that every time the teachers do something, they use that term, it brings them back the recognition and the memory of their teachers. So it's something on the feeling level, and it's nothing to be considered in any way as religious or belief, or has to be used as such at all. But we do tend sometimes to use this term when we greet each other or something like that in the teaching. So, or when we want, for example, occasionally to end the meditation when we are eyes closed, And instead of saying, now just open the eyes, or now we stop the meditation, it has also become kind of a habit to say Jai Gurudev. So we say that is like we have been diving deep into ourselves, and we acknowledge the tradition that has given us this knowledge. And it's a soft way to say we're moving from one situation to the other, from being deep diving in the self and now coming out into activity. And so to make it a transition that is soft and kind of on the sweet level, we have tended to use this expression.
That was lovely. Thank you so much. There's a beautiful question about your book. And the question is, you talk about the difference between mind and consciousness. Could you elaborate a little bit more what that distinction is between what mind is and what consciousness is?
Consciousness is what allows us to be aware, so what allows us to be conscious. And one can be conscious without analyzing the content of consciousness. One can be conscious with analyzing the differences between things. One can be conscious of feelings. One can be conscious of objects, perception. So when you see a flower, you say, it's my sensory perception, and I'm conscious of the flower. So that is what gives life to the senses, for example. Without consciousness, you don't have any experience. You don't have any any sense of anything, because you're not conscious. And so to be doing anything on the surface level, you need consciousness. Now, within consciousness, there are these different values. You can be feeling love, or you can be feeling happiness, or even sadness. And in this case, we can say your consciousness has taken the color of love, the color of happiness, the color of expectation, or anger, or fear, or anxiety, or joy and hope. And so the consciousness can take all of these values. And when the consciousness holds a thought of any kind, for example, you're thinking of something, then we call this the mind. The mind is that ability in consciousness to hold one thought and then the other, and then the other, and then the other, without even necessarily examining them or comparing them one to the other. So everything is actually consciousness. Again, mind is consciousness, intellect is consciousness, feeling is consciousness, even the body is consciousness. But they have these different shades of quality that makes one is a feeling. For example, you can say, what's the difference between feeling and thought? Because when you feel something, you can think about it. I feel something in the heart, I feel something in the body, and then my mind thinks about it. So there is a thought about that feeling. But the thought about that feeling is on the platform of consciousness, of being conscious of the thought. Now, if you analyze things from a discriminating power, for example, you say red is different than yellow, high is different than low, right is different than left, or in more sophisticated ways, you can say I'm analyzing the meaning of life, or I'm studying this mathematical equation and I discriminate between this and that, and I put 1 + 1 = this. So now it is your intellect. The intellect is also consciousness, but consciousness functioning as a way to analyze things and separate things so that we know this is this and that is this. This is not this and this is not that, and this is what it is. So when you get into your analytical mind and deductive mind and also synthetic mind, but analyzing what is happening, we call this the intellect. When you just carry thoughts, we call this the mind. And when you, for example, feel of the self, the sense of self, I know I am, and I feel I am, and I feel I am the same as I was, I'm the same person, even if I've changed so much. That we call the ego, the sense of self. But that is also consciousness. Consciousness of the self, consciousness of analysis and discrimination, consciousness of thoughts, consciousness of feelings, consciousness of sensory experience. These, the senses, then the mind, the intellect, the ego. That is how we differentiate them.
Lovely. Mahmoud, you have a question?
Yes. Thank you so much. There's one question here I see from the participants. Will there be more advanced yoga asana sets coming out later?
More advanced asanas. Yes, we have worked with Maharishi, and we have different asanas that are for specific even ailments that can help to adjust even when there is a disease process or there is a weakness somewhere. This set of asanas is very complete in that sense that it's holistic and it takes care of many, many different aspects of the physiology. But there are more advanced asanas that can be used for specific issues or problems that we will also bring out. By the way, you all did great. It was beautiful to see you all perform.
Carol, did you have a question?
Carol is on mute, I think.
Carol, you're muted.
There. Okay, now can you hear?
Yes.
All right. So I saw a very practical question on the chat, and someone said, I have a problem with TM because it takes too much time. What to do about that? And I think all of us know how much more we can accomplish when we meditate. Everyone raise your hands if you are amazed at how efficient in activity you become when you're meditating twice a day. Everything just gets done so much more easily. Your mind is clear. All activity is much more effortless, and you can accomplish much more. I'm sure almost everyone here who's practicing transcendental meditation has that experience in their life.
Beautiful. So the time you invest is the time you win. If you say, I go to the bank and I don't want to put my money there, or I don't want to invest my money, it takes too much money to put in investment, then your money stays the same. And if you invest in something that is productive, then you multiply by many folds the effect. So time is very relative, as Carol is telling us. You can spend time wasting it because you are not efficient and tired. And if you practice something that makes your time more effective, then you are gaining time. I'm just paraphrasing Carol.
There are many people chatting, confirming that at the same time.
Beautiful.
Telling their experience.
Marvelous, Dr. Nader. Thank you so much for spending your time with us and answering our questions and guiding us through a very blissful global group meditation. We have this experience every week, twice a week, where we have global Maharishi Yoga Asana classes, Friday afternoons at 4 p.m. US Central and Sunday mornings at 10. And the European family also has those regular Yoga Asana classes. So thanks everyone for joining. And we wanted to let you all know that there's a lot more available at Maharishi International University. You can study consciousness online, bachelor's, master's, PhD. And now we're introducing a course on yoga. We'll have a bachelor's program in yoga, Maharishi Ayurveda and yoga, starting next year. We're just beginning. And there'll be a track in our master's in Maharishi Ayurveda and integrative medicine, also on becoming a yoga teacher, a yoga Maharishi Yoga Asana instructor. So many things coming. And the advanced asanas will be taught in those programs as well. We hope that Dr. Nader will help us with the yoga therapy part of that. And so please go to miu.edu and see all the programs available. And then, of course, Dr. Tony Nader, all that we've been discussing today is just an expression of one unbounded ocean of consciousness, which Dr. Nader so beautifully described in the beginning. And so this book is historic. This is becoming a textbook for our university for our Ayurveda programs. And you can get it on Amazon, and please do enjoy this book very much. Already a bestseller, but for good reason. Because what the world needs now is more unity and much less diversity. And all diversity is just an expression of unity. So please enjoy Dr. Nader's book, One Unbounded Ocean of Consciousness. Thank you, Dr. Nader, for bringing that out. The sale of the book is going well, Dr. Nader. Would you like to say a word about the book?
Yes, it's a book that explains what consciousness is and its importance, and answers some very, big questions in life about living and freedom and determinism, about why happiness and why pain, why there is evil, but how to overcome it, what's the meaning of life, where we come from, where we're going, and basically understanding the rules and the laws that conduct the affairs of manifestation, and what is the unmanifest, what is the absolute, what is the relative, all these questions that go around different aspects of science, philosophy, and even spirituality, and put them together in a way that they feel together, in a sense, as complete knowledge, where there is no more division, neither in the approach, the belief, the thinking, and there is a unifying common denominator that binds the material with the non-material, the physical with the non-physical, and consciousness with matter. So it has a big scope, and is quite optimistic in its approach.
Thank you, Dr. It is wonderful. We're reading it together. We have a little book club in our new staff, and Maharishi Ayurveda, that we're reading the book together each week. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
Wonderful.
And speaking of our students at MIU, we'll be graduating another class at the university, Dr. Nader. Many hundreds of people who are scientists now, computer scientists, who are masters in Maharishi Veda and integrative medicine, masters in Maharishi Vedic science. So congratulations to all of the new graduates at MIU coming up soon in June. And also, Dr. Nader, there's a wonderful opportunity, everyone, on this master series to view a wonderful discussion with Dr. Nader and David Lynch. Dr. Nader, would you like to comment on that discussion?
Yeah, it was a joy to sit with the great director, writer, and philosopher and philanthropist, who is the head of the David Lynch Foundation, David Lynch himself, who has created that foundation to support students all over the world, and from different walks of life, particularly also underprivileged in many ways. And so it was really nice to sit with him on several sessions and discuss these big questions from different perspectives. The challenges that our world faces, the challenges and their solutions, the questions that people ask about their meaning, about themselves, about freedom again, and other aspects. And it was a joyful time, spent hours with him. And out of this, they made a series with small sections, like 10 to 15 minute sections. And it is now available. It's been made available for all those who want to enjoy it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Nader. saw the first part and wonderful. Absolutely a joy to see. Thank you so much. I want to thank the organizers, Adrian Schoenfeld and Steve Glickman, and all those behind the scenes working hard to make this happen. And of course, all our presenters and our demonstrators. Thank you so much. And again, such a joy. And this should become a tradition, I think, that Dr. Nader speak with all of us around the globe and with Maharishi International University. It's one big family and one unbounded ocean of consciousness. So thank you everyone for participating. Thank you, Dr. Nader, so much.
Thank you all. It was a joy. All the best.
All the best. Thank you, everyone. Until next time.
Until next time.